Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's December 1st, 2025, first day of meteorological winter. And we're looking out at Duncan's Bowl in the Pios. This is courtesy of the Sawtooth Avalanche Center. Put an observation in on Saturday. Everett and Zach were out taking some photos, seeing where the snow's at before we cross our fingers and hope for another big storm. And if you're enjoying this broadcast, you have to do a one-time donation, or even better, sign up for that monthly sustaining membership. Today you can see valley fog. Looks like mostly maybe that by the Timberman Mountains and south of there. And those clouds are going to increase. Starting out with some clear skies, but some clouds will come in from the north. We'll have some light snow today or tonight, mostly a trace to an inch. And then tomorrow we'll have 1 to 3 inches of snow in the higher elevation reaches. Mostly going to be orographics working there. And then we can look forward to a storm coming through on Friday. All right, so looking at the satellite reel this morning, you can see this big band of fog, stratus clouds, and then the clouds working their way in from the northwest flow there. And then our next system is going to be this low that's in the Gulf of Alaska now. It's already kind of breaking, unzipping apart here. We'll have a little bit of a warm front and cold front coming through tomorrow. Not too much moisture with this one. Taking a look at the HRRR model. Yeah, you can see tonight, you can see some light snow amounts. Usually when you see the green is when you actually get precip enough rates to accumulate on the ground. So those light blues are probably not going to give us much. And then looking into tomorrow morning is when some bands start from the northwest and work southeast throughout the day, but really not too much coverage with that, just 1 to 3 inches. A lot of the higher snow or heavier snow amounts are going to be where the mountains are taller, and those that moisture is pushing up the left-hand side, the west side, and pushing moisture with orographics to snow more. This is what the storm totals are going to be after that Tuesday storm. So really not too much, 1 to 3 inches across the board. It is cold enough that it could snow in the valley floor though, but not looking like much. Today's going to be 35 degrees in Haley, 40 tomorrow, a little warmer, and then knock it down a little bit from Wednesday. Our next storm system is going to be in the 40s, so we might see some valley rain with that. This is our next big chance, setting up for the end of the week. Actually, this is for next week. So there's two different systems I'll point out that are on the horizon. You can see the ARs are signaling, atmospheric rivers are signaling for Oregon coast and Washington with an AR3 right now, so that's good. Looking at the 500 millibar chart of what's going to happen, we're in this northwest flow right now. And then this is that little trough that comes through tomorrow. And that low pretty much works its way down to the left of us. It really doesn't have that much moisture with it. And then we kind of fast forward here. Got this big area of high pressure here spitting in moisture with that northwest flow. And then Friday, you can see it's set up pretty nicely with that northwest flow. So it'll hit the Sawtooth and Banner Summit, and those northern spots. And that'll keep cranking through the weekends. And then there's another low that drops down for Tuesday. And this starts to get into the future forecast here. So we'll take this with a grain of salt, but it looks much stronger. So that's what was signaling for that risk of heavier snow for Monday, Tuesday. All right, let's look a little closer at snow amounts. This is for the weekend storm. So we'll kind of start in the northern zones. Banner Summit could pick up a foot. The Sawtooth crest could pick up 1.5 feet. It's looking like about 1.2 inches of water, so that's quite a bit. White clouds always isolated there around Castle Peak, about 13 inches. Moores is looking like about 1 foot in that area. It's looking like kind of a warm storm, so I'm not sure how much we're going to actually get out there for bogus, maybe 3 to 4. Where else we looking? It looks like it's not going to really hit Baldy, maybe 2 to 4 inches there. You can see it's really just kind of sticking that upper elevation because we're going to have that warmer air coming through. So it's going to really need to chase the elevation on that. All right, yeah, so we'll look at station to station on the MBM now. Little blip of snow on Tuesday for Bogus Basin, and then you can see the temperatures are kind of hovering around freezing for this first storm system. So while they're getting 0.8 inches of water, that's only going to equate to maybe 3 inches of water or 3 inches of snow with those warmer temperatures. Williams Peak is looking pretty solid at 1.25 inches of water, 10 inches of snow. Really gonna set the Sawtooth up for getting some access to that upper snow or upper mountains where there's more snow. And then looking a little further south, Titus is picking up. That's pretty much even equivalent there of 0.8 inches to almost 8 inches of snow. That's going to be good for the base. And then I lost my Pio. The Pioneers. This is at the Hyman Snowtail site, a little bit lower, almost a 10% ratio there too. 0.26 inches and 2 inches of snow. So really not that much in the southern zones. It's going to be northwest storms. We'll see as that gets closer if it pans out.